Hello everyone! How are we all doing today? You waiting for Christmas? It's only 3 days. We all doing good? Just gonna check some stuff regarding my stream. Might help if I actually have my audio on my headphones, right? Check volume levels on OBS. Yeah, I sound fine by the looks of that. Okay. Right. Des is turning 19 this year. Cool. Let's change this to live chat. There we go. Hello. So today's video is going to be a bit different. It's something I wanted to do for a while. Discussing possible knight contenders and who's in on the conspiracy, I guess. Just a bit of fun today, nothing too extreme. So I just want to make sure this looks good on the actual thing. My settings on my display and the actual display of the thing is different, so it's yeah. So we have 6 tiers I'm working with here. We have Knight Contender. Anyone who is possible to actually be the knight is going to go in here. In on the conspiracy, basically characters who aren't the knight, but we, like, you know, can predict they're almost definitely in on the conspiracy and or working with the knight. They're going to go in this tier. Likely on the conspiracy, basically characters who aren't confirmed but like have hints towards being on the conspiracy, or like we could come up with theories to say why they would be. If any of the fun gang isn't in the last tier, I'll physically crash out. Yeah. Possible but unlikely. I mean, they could be on the conspiracy, but like there's very little evidence towards it. Not in on the conspiracy. Any character who is very clearly not in, and actively working against characters who are definitely not in the conspiracy. I'm gonna make the most safe play here, and already put Susie in actively working against because that's the only definite we have at the minute, honestly. This is like community stuff as well, so I'm willing to change tiers based on what people suggest. To be fair though, Chris is like the one that's up for debate in the fun gang, I'd say. Just checking some things right now, sorry about that. It's been a while since I've actually streamed using screen recording, so I'm just getting used to it again. I think everything's good. Chris and the Knight can't be the same person if they're both on screen at once many times. Yeah, that's what this category is for. And on the conspiracy, basically anyone who's like, you know, knowledgeable but isn't a Knight contender. That's mainly what this is for. I think I'll put Rouse in here as well, actively working against. Because like, Rouse is kind of obvious for that one. I'm leaving Chris for a while because I'm really not sure where to put them, honestly. They're not in here. 100% they're not in here. It's just where... It's whether they're tier list. Tier list indeed. It's just whether Chris goes here or here. Jevel is the knight. That is my question. Chris can't go here because if they go here, then nothing makes sense. If they go here and not here, then that's just stupid. It's either here or here, and that's the big question. In on the conspiracy, in your opinion? I'll put him there for now. I think Chris definitely knows more than they're letting on. I'm happy with this for the fun gang so far. Also, I'm only doing the lighteners. I've thrown in Gaster and Toby here as well. But all the lighteners in the entirety of Deltarune, we are going to be going through every single one of them, which I think is what makes this fun. I think Noelle's a pretty safe option there. I think Noelle's being purposely kept out. I think because of the characters who I think are in these top two categories, Noelle is being kept out on purpose, and I think Chris, if a human wasn't needed and they could get another human, Chris would either be here or here. In that scenario, Jockington is definitely suspect. Is the tier list for how likely they are to be the knight? I mean, the top tier is anyone who has the potential to be the knight. But the other tiers are just basically ranking characters on how likely they are to know about the knight and the conspiracy. I think Birdley's here. He's too stupid to know anything. Hello. Yeah, no matter the holiday, Noah's blissfully unaware. I think, like, once Noelle learns more, she'll move into here. But for now, she's here. God forbid Birdley if he knows about the prophecy. He reads, but he also reads very badly, so... Caddy's up next. I'm doing all the classroom people first. Honestly, with you think Asgore is like an undercover cop? Possibly. To be fair, I probably should make some other safe bets first. I think we can just straight up throw every single member of the holiday family that isn't Noelle into Knight Contender. I'll move these around the top tier later based on who's the most likely. Probably this, to be fair. But, yeah. Kate is pretty weird, occult shit. Yeah, that is something, definitely. Also, like... I'm gonna mention this in like an upcoming video, but I want to mention it here too. Naming your kids Caddy with an I and Caddy with a Y is like the dumbest thing. It's like it's like if you named your kid two of your kids the same thing and just changed the spelling. Sure on paper it looks fine, but when you're actually talking to them, how are they meant to know who's who? Chapter 6, when Rudy gets kidnapped by the knight, he's chill guy, he don't care. I think Rudy is a contender, though. I've discussed at length why Rudy is, like, possible. I think Carol's a red herring, but Carol's either here or here, but, like, she is still a knight contender. I'm gonna put Caddy impossible but unlikely. Caddy. Oh, God. It wasn't my tea over then. My tea is fine. Nothing spilt. Thank God. Jockington's a questionable one. Likely in on it. I mean, he's in the prophecy. But it's like... Why is it that... There are a few things to consider with Jockington, so like... First of all, he's in the prophecy. But second of all, when you force Chris to think about the knight, they force themselves to think about Jockington. And if both Chris and Jockington are in on it, then, like, it is questionable. I'm gonna put Jockington above Caddy, impossible but unlikely. I'm not ruling it out. But I don't think he's here, is what I'm saying. Monster Kid and Snowy, I think Monster Kid, Snowy, and Temmie can all safely go in here. I don't think that's an extreme take. Because they're all kind of stupid, but these two are like very suspect. I might move some of these around later, but for now I think this is fine. Asgore's probably working against, since he fought them before, most likely. Tem knows about legend, not that actual prophecy. You know what, Temmie? You can go here. Temmie can go here because that one singing section. With Asgore's the Knight, why else would the Knight want Toriel? That is a valid question. Toriel is one who is like really interesting to think about. So like I don't know where Toriel lies. She's either here or here. Like there's no in between ground for Toriel. I mean, to be fair, I'd probably put safely here maybe. She's not the Knight. We know that. But there is the fact that depending on how you beat the Knight in Chapter 3, whether if you lose, she's sleeping peacefully. But if you win, then she looks like she's having a nightmare. I think likely is safe. I think I'm fine putting that there. Asgore's going here. For now. While I read about your everyone debating about Asgore. One line to prove Asgore's position, driving in my car. Well, I mean, Toriel having a nightmare when the Knight... When you beat the Knight, compared to if you lose to the Knight, where the only difference is... Because the Knight technically wins that fight, it's just the Knight wins in the cutscene if you lose. Sorry, the Knight wins in the cutscene if you win, and then they win in the gameplay if you lose. Nothing really changes, aside from the fact that you beat the Knight up quite a significant amount. Oh my god, the Knight's in chat. We'll just ask the Knight. Roaring Knight, who are you? Sorry about that, guys. You're not telling me shit? Okay. Alright, fair enough. I think Asgore being in on the conspiracy is something I've talked about a lot. Like, he's in Carol's house. He's, you know, he does all this stuff. It's questionable, but I think he belongs here. Asriel, though. Where are we putting Asriel? Because, like, we know next to nothing about Asriel. And I have no clue. I mean, possible Knight contender people made Asriel Knight theories. Asgore's not in on it. I mean, yeah, he didn't take the guitar, but, like, he knew Carol was coming, so, like, he didn't really give a crap. Like Carol could handle that, and like. Maybe in on the conspiracy. I mean, I could put him likely, but like. It depends how much he knows about Dessa's disappearance. That's. Yeah, because, like. He's not here. It's one of these four, I think. I mean, you can even argue this. To a sense. But I think any of these four could fit for, Azrael. But the thing is, like, why lie about Azrael being in college? That's the question I have, really. Because, like, if he is in college, then, like. That makes sense. It's like, why lie about Azrael being in college and then not lie about Des being in college? Like, does everyone know that Des went missing? Is that, like, a thing? Hello. I think here makes sense. I think this right here is like a possibility. Because like, I don't want to put him as definite. Because like I know people disagree with me putting Asgore as definite, but that's my opinion. Like I have that opinion about Asgore. Do I think Carol's a Republican or a Democrat? That is an odd question to ask. No comment. You're the only one here that is joking. That misspelling is hilarious, but I mean, Jockington's fine. It's not much to like or hate, really. It's just a side character in a sense. Alphys goes here. I don't think this is like. Why isn't there any family photos in the holiday house at all, or like any house? That is a good question. Very good question that I do not have the answer to. Yeah, but on to Alphys. I think Alphys is pretty safe in not in on the conspiracy. Like, she's done some investigative stuff, and all she really came up with is that Undyne and Carol know about the shelter. Which is like, yeah, stuff we already knew. Which is, I mean, that's like the only useful thing she comes up with. Like, you know, the shelter's dangerous, and she's pretty new to hometown, so she doesn't really have had much time to learn about stuff. Undyne is one who, is questionable. She's not here. It's one of these three. Maybe even this. She knows stuff because obviously she knows about the shelter. She's part of the police force. So I don't think not in the conspiracy is an option. It's like she definitely knows stuff. So it's whether we say she's in on it or not. Because like she could have been in on it and been betrayed in a sense. And then likely in is another one. It's either here or here. It's one of the two. You think unlikely? Really? I mean, I don't think she's like in. Undyne gets her own tier of sacrifice. You know what? Screw it. Let's make a new tier. Hold on. Let me just put it at a row below, and then change the color of it. Make it look nice and stuff. Betrayed slash sac. I need to put space between these because otherwise it'll just not work. Sac. I can't spell, which we already knew. I think that makes sense. Because, like, she knows stuff, 100%. But I just don't think any of these tiers make any sense. She's not, I guess, in on the whole conspiracy, because, again, she got kidnapped. So it's either she got taken and she wasn't on the conspiracy, or she wasn't on the conspiracy and they just took it, and she just knew things because of her position. Toriel most likely also falls on sacrifice. I don't agree. I think Toriel, like, I think the knight trying to take Toriel is, like, basically, like, how do I word this? I think the knight trying to take Toriel was basically to set Chapter 4 into motion. Because whether or not Toriel is or is not the target, if the knight doesn't attempt to take her, you don't have Chapter 4. Because there's no major concern. I mean, you still have the chapter, but, like, your reason for going in to Chapter 4's Dark World is to save Toriel. I'm sure if it was... I'm sure if the knight hadn't tried to take Toriel, Chris and Susie, especially Susie, might have been more likely to wait outside for the knight to leave. I don't think getting abducted counts as knowing the plan. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Napsterbook's a questionable one as well. Because, again, part of the police force. It could be here. Could also be, like, any of these. Not here, I don't think. You now have to wonder if Asgore also gets the mysterious phone call Chris does. Blukey clean. Napsterbook says didn't know the code, though. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think Napsterbook goes in here. I think that's a fine one to put them in. Now we get on to the interesting stuff. Most of the side characters... We'll get to you in a second, don't worry. Blukey makes cool music, so they cool. Caddy the Elder. I think probably here. That feels reasonable. Same with Bright. To be fair, Caddy could go up here depending on how much she knows from her sister. That is the interesting part of this. God, this final tail is gonna look awful, isn't it? The spiral is beginning. I think, yeah. You know what? I think all these guys can go here. I think once we get to this, like, we are in the fun zone right now, where, like, we just have, like, the dumbest characters left to go. Is Caddy even someone who gossips? I mean, no, but, like, again, occult findings, knows magic. Majority is no. Yeah, majority of these are going in no, but I think a lot of these... Sans gets its own tier. I don't have room for another tier. I think Betrayed / Sacrifice was the only good one, really. There are. So, I mean, we could just go keep joking onwards and just go across every single character on this tier list. That would be funny to do. Sans – Sacrifice Theory? There are so many options to put Sans in. What if we put Sans here? God, make the tier list look longer. Always bet on Sans Worldsmith. I feel like Sans is like gonna move here possibly in later chapters. Depends how important he actually is, but I think for now I'm gonna put him in. What conspiracy? Basically the whole night conspiracy and sort. I'm calling it the conspiracy because it's basically anyone who's working with the night or knows stuff about like the plan. Sans is too ignorant to care. Yeah, the reason I'm putting in Sans possible but unlikely, I would totally put him in not in on the conspiracy. The only reason I am putting Sans here is because Papyrus goes here. Like, Papyrus has to... hold on, I need to check some stuff, how this looks visually. It looks fine, okay. Yeah. Move it up a bit just so we can see a bit more. Papyrus goes here. Like, Papyrus has to go in Night Contender. Imagine if we end up not having Papyrus at all, that'd be funny. But I think for now, Papyrus has to go in Night Contender. Not just because, like, there's, joke theories about him. But the fact that if you look through, like, Deltarune in its entirety, Papyrus being the knight kind of makes sense. Like, I'm at a point where I think I might eventually make a Papyrus Knight theory video. That is how deep we are into this. We have the best characters coming up. Onion-san goes here. This video is so stupid. I mean, realistically, I have made a theory that Onion-san is Des reincarnated. I think anything lower than here would be an insult to that theory. Oh my god, chat's going insane. In chapter 2, San said you could meet him tomorrow. Yeah. God. I'm gonna have to pause stream for a second. I'm getting a phone call. I'll see you guys in a second. Sorry guys, I'm back now. Dead Pixel Night? Did we go insane while I was off? Susie was calling. Alright, okay, so as I was saying about Onion, I have a whole theory where Onion is like the Onion-san is Des reincarnated. So that was so yeah, it would be an insult to put them any lower than this. Always bet on Onion tier theory. Alvin. Alvin's a questionable one. I think where Alvin goes is really questionable for me. I think likely makes sense. It has to be one of these two. I mean, I still kind of believe in a possible theory that Alvin made Chapter 4's Dark World. Honestly, it'd be an insult to myself to not put him in here. I think that's a pretty safe position. Oh my god, we are getting to the real questionable ones now, where we can have really fun debates. Papyrus Knight, Death Knight, Carol Knight, is there any other more knights I should know about? Yeah, Rudy Knight. You don't think Alvin's in on it? I mean, you have to wonder why he dug up Gerson. That is one of those things you have to question, I guess. Why do you have a white border around you? It's time for the unhinged part of the tier list. There are some there are some actual reasonable discussions we can have from this point. I mean, we could truly go insane and go over all the darkness, which most of them will not be a serious discussion. Is the Roaring Knight a likely knight contender? That'll be a fun one. Oh my god, this is going to be actually insane. Now, the question is, how many of these can I justify not putting in this tier? Politics bears the foreign. Oh, I should not have done this stream with a freaking... So, Caddy's parents, where are we thinking? Someone shoved the gang over the heads of Scooby-Doo gang reveal the night. This has turned insane, genuinely. Now, okay, Caddy's dad goes in here, right? Absolute safe bet. He's not in on it, right? Absolutely not in on it. Caddy's mom goes impossible but unlikely, right? You see, this guy, he's stupid. He's just a family supporter. She's cheering so much, it looks suspicious. It's obviously in unlikely. It's so like if Caddy knows something, the mom might be on it. Moms always know. Moms always know. The dad's clueless. The dad goes here. The mom goes here though. Absolutely. This is gonna go insane. All right. How crazy is this gonna get from this point? Papyrus is the guy behind the tree. The guy behind the tree is Dr. Robotnik, and I will not have anyone say otherwise. Okay. Here we go. Doggo. Where's Doggo go? Someone said, can only see moving things. The night was always moving. Suspicious. I genuinely don't know. The man behind the tree is the Eggman, and he has the master plan. Oh, God. Doggo solos night. Bluey? Lesser dog. Not in. Greater dog. Not in. Now, here's the question. These two are going in the same tier. Rouse is working with the knight. Why am I hesitating? Because I never know. I don't want to just throw them all in here because, like, it's funnier for the video if I just mix them all up, you know? Doggo only uses blue attack. The knight is always moving, therefore Doggo solos. I think I'm going to put these two in, not knowing. We lost the plot. We lost the plot 2 hours ago. Now here's the real one, right? Where we actually get to talk about insane stuff. So to consider Rudy to be the knight, you have to put this character here. Because that means because you know, it makes sense, right? If Rudy's the knight, Rudy has to get out. And to let him out, they have to they have to know. Right? You can't have Rudy Knight without the staff in the hospital getting suspicious. But also, the reason why they don't say anything is, you know, patient-doctor confidentiality. It makes too much sense. Purple guy. Purple guy. Where does purple guy go? Purple guy is, like, so suspicious. Doesn't work in Ices. Doesn't work in the diner. And then I can't remember where he shows up in chapter 4. That'll do. You are... Yeah. The milk guy. The milk guy is questionable, right? Because, like... Where's the milk guy go? Five Nights at Freddy's. All 5 nights. I mean, we're going to have to put 5 nights in here. Night contenders. Milk guy. Where's milk guy go? Like, it's either here... But then again, he's always looking at milk. Why is he always looking at milk? Suspicious. This guy, he's just in the store. Where is Chester on this tier list? This tier list isn't perfect, so I'll probably use like Dark Will Noel for Chester or something, and then Dark Will, and then the first Rousey is Togo or something. Milk is the liquid and water is relevant to the plot. That's enough for me. This guy, this guy is here, right? Now hear me out. This is the guy who, if you don't meet Onion-san on the first chapter, he tells you about how if you stand on the circle yesterday, something weird happens. He knows stuff. 100% knows stuff. Milk guy looks at the milk in the convenience store and the milk is being cooled in the area where you first fight the night full of snow. Milk guy is in on it. I think we've lost the plot. Now, where do you go? That is a question. I don't think you have anything suspicious about you. You're going there, no further questions. Terry. You see, totally not Jerry, right? Why are you hiding stuff? Why would you see this is a character who obviously is Jerry, pretending to be someone called Terry. So therefore, with Terry, it has to be likely in, because if you're hiding your identity already, what's stopping you then from hiding your identity again to be in on the conspiracy? Why isn't Birdley a night contender? Because he's frozen chicken in the weird route and the knight still shows up. How can you be cooking in the freezer, but also... Then again, we do fight the knight in the cold place. Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, Terry's disguise is impeccable. You have to be here. You show up in the stupidest places. Where, like, you're either here or here. It's one of the two. I'm being 100% serious, right? This character blocks off the library from you, so you can't learn more information that you might necessarily need. He's the only character in the library in Chapter 2. And if you meet Onion on Chapters 1 and 2... go to the place in Chapter 4, get Suze to say your friend's not here, leave, then come back. This guy is there. But he's also in the library. You know what? No. I am committed. I'm even considering this. You are 100% here. I'm even debating doing that. No, I don't want to do that. I'm even debating doing that. For now, you stay here. You could go up to here. 100% you're here, though. Car guy. Where does the car guy go? Noelle should be possible, unlikely. I think... I explained it earlier with Noelle. I think Noelle is being purposefully kept out. And I think Chris would be down in these two tiers as well if they didn't need a human. QC is in the Gaster list. I think car guy goes here. I think this car guy is like very stupid. I hate him. Like, bro, just drive out of the way. This guy likes being in traffic. At least he's reasonable. You know what? This guy... liking being in traffic is weird enough. You're going here. Q stays in the gas list? What do you mean by that? He's a gunner and he drives the car, so he could have run over death, so he could become the knight. Oh yeah, it is that sprite, isn't it? I never noticed that. What if the car is the knight? I feel like there's a character who, if we're talking about the car being a knight, is like, you know, very obviously there. Anyway. Put the annoying dog on the list. We'll get to it. It's there. We will get to it. Or if everyone's just schizo and the night isn't real. QC. Knows a lot about Chris. QC is questionable. That is questionable. Put you here. I think not in on the conspiracy is a fine one for you. I just don't know yet. Aaron. Her name is Q/C. Her name triggers something they're gonna make it. That is a fair one. You feel like QC may be on it, but you don't know why. The tier list is the night. Oh god. Dog is in Truman tire. They keep the show running and sometimes smite the player down, but otherwise aren't involved. Chris Dreamer is in Dreamer. Everything is a dream confirmed. I think we've genuinely lost the plot at this point. Now here's the thing, right? I think Aaron can go in here. I'm gonna leave QC up because again that comment about her name triggering something in the Gotta Maker is enough for me. You are just the guy who wants to order stuff and your kid won't have anything without glitter on it. The Hollow Knight is the Roaring Knight. I am the knight. You right? Okay. Actual serious discussion time again. This guy in chapter 2, right? This guy in chapter 2, okay? He says, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm getting stronger. And he says he's bulking up for the winter. Absolutely likely on the conspiracy, right? Why would you talk about weird root stuff if you didn't know things? Here's some onion sand proof. Spampton leads into the start of a night lord drop through communion. Something that needs water. Serious. That line has aged like wine. So yeah, you go there. Where do you go? You're the guy who Undertale debuggers hate. And for that reason you go here. I can't remember, does Grillby's kid have a name? I think, you know what the suspicious thing is? Where is Grillby? But why are you here and Grillby's not? Ficus, Lickum. You know what? Actually, yeah, you're right about that. If they're a gunner in Undertale, they instantly come here. Is that Grillby? That's Grillby's kid. Where is Grillby? That is the question. Grillby's daughter is here, and yet Grillby isn't. Also, because you're friends with Grillby's daughter, you go here. Ice Wolf. Where Ice Wolf go? Ice Wolf could go here. Grillby, but oh my god. Ice Wolf could go here. I think because they're in QC's diner, and we've already got suspicions over that. And they're in IC's. And, like, the only customer in IC's. And, yeah, again, ice, snow, and snowgrave and stuff. You're one of the staff in QC's diner. You can go here. Neo Grubby looks cute. These two. I think we can put these two in here. They only go to church to repaint the roof. and to drink the juice. They're not religious, and the only bit of suspicion against them is that in Chapter 1, they are in the room where you meet Onion-san. They wear helmets similar to the Knight. Maybe the helmets are their heads. Who knows? It is weird how they still have helmets, despite the Royal Guards not existing. So it makes me more inclined to believe that this is just straight up their heads. Shiren. Shiren has to go in here, because Shiren sings in the choir. Which, to be fair, is the reason you to be fair, actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I'm putting Shiren in there for singing in the choir. You have to go in there too. Also, where is Snowdrake's dad? I'm just realizing Snowdrake's dad is not on this tier list. Snowdrake's dad, for the record, would go in here too again, because if we're if we're covering, like, if I'm counting characters who are not in, so if I'm counting characters who are in the choir, well, to be fair, no, I can't really use that argument because Noelle's in the choir. Where were you on the list? You were, like, here. I think Shiren also, yeah, I think that's fine. I kind of talked myself out of that explanation because I'd have to put Noelle in here, and I think Noelle is definitely in here. So the explanation I had can't work. Politics Bear. Not there. Politics Bear seems to be a part of City Hall. I think the receptionist is more likely, so I'm putting them there. But because Politics Bear isn't explicitly said to not work at City Hall, unlike some other guy who doesn't work at City Hall, who is going in here, Politics Bear will, and because obviously connections to Carol is, in my opinion, enough to put you there. Now, this guy would be higher up if Carol didn't keep everything important at home. So therefore, he stays there. Whereas these two may have more connections to Carol than we know, and go in here. Oh boy. Now it gets serious. Now it gets serious. W.D. Gaster. I'm thinking here. I'm just for now. I am thinking that. Gas in his own tier. He's either here or here though. Like, do I make a tier called called the Creator or something? The Roaring Knight having autocorrect troubles makes it... You know what? Because of the Roaring Knight's autocorrect and technology troubles, I'm tempted to put Carol above Des on this tier. No, I'm kidding. No, we're putting Des back there. Honestly, like... Is he behind the tree? Where Gaster is, we don't know. But I'm putting him here for now. If he made the knight, maybe he made himself. Maybe Gaster reproduces by cloning. Who even knows? Who even knows? It's a definite here, but again, I'm putting him here for now. Toby Fox. Where does Toby Fox land on this tier list? This is the last one we're discussing, or we're going to go over every single Darknet and go absolutely crazy with it. Toby is God. You know what? Because of Toby and Gaster, I'm actually going to make a tier at or above. What colour do I make you? That is the question. We're going to put it as grey. A lighter grey, because then we can actually see it. And then we're going to call it Creator Tier. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have a poll on this now, because I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. Start a poll. Do we cover the darkness for the memes? No, I'm not putting for the memes in there, because then it's just... Right. Do we cover the darkness? How insane do we want to go with this? I'm not covering the Dark World versions of the Lightners. Well, I could go that far. 13 votes, 14 votes, my god. I didn't realize how many people were actually here. I mean, chat's going massive, so I guess I should have realized that, but I haven't actually got the actual screen up, so... My god, there's a lot of people here. How many people are here? Why is this my most successful stream? I'll let a minute pass before we end the poll, because I think we have a clear winner. Okay. We have a clear winner. We are covering all the Darkness, and in that I am going to include the Dark World versions of Light World characters. Chris, Dark World version, goes in actively working against. I have talked about for so long that Chris is a heroic character, and I think anything other than actively working against is insane. Why are you in the tier list? Oh yeah. We're gonna have to cover the night too. Right. Dark World Susie, absolutely. Chapter 1 Rousey, yeah, no questions. Dark World Undyne, that's who's the Light World Undyne is the night. Noelle. Do we put Noelle here? Or do we put Noelle here? That is the question. How do we consider Noelle? Oh my god, this is stupid. I think Noelle. I think Dark World Noelle. It's either actively working against. Well, yeah, because how far have we fallen? So far. So we have fallen so far. Hold on. Let me just show you how the list is, right? We have made create a tier for Gaster and Toby. We still have no other night contenders besides these four. We have Terry, this guy, in Likely on the Conspiracy. And we have Ice Wolf, Impossible but Unlikely. Honestly, I think actively working against makes the most sense. Because if you consider Dark World, whether it's normal or weird route, they form a truce with Chris, and then don't want to work with Queen, who is doing what the Knight wants. So therefore, Obviously, the weird route isn't something the knight wants, so... Yeah. Many questions. Birdley, again, works against Queen, goes in active working against. Toriel is sleeping peacefully. Same tier as before. Undyne, again, actively working against. Why are we different from the Light World? Because it's funny. That's the only reason. Darkwood Undyne is pink and yellow. You're right. Possible night content. No, I'm joking. It's either here. Do we keep Undyne the same tier, or do we go absolutely off the wall and just put her in here? I think... You know what? I'm just going to put them there as well. Okay, now we get onto the absolute insane stuff. Oh my god, this is going to go like hell. I have so many things we are going to discuss here. Let's start with Rudin. Everyone's going to say for friend. We're getting to friend last. Don't worry. The Rudin. Where are we putting the Rudin? And to be fair, a lot of these Darkness could go in actively working against because of how they portray certain characters. Rudin is a knight. Elaborate. They have armor and a sword. I have so lost the plot with this. Rudin has a dagger, so, like, it just likes collecting jewels, I guess. Possible night content now. All the Chapter 4 Darkness are active against the knight because they said it during the dialogue and they fought in the yeah. It's obviously a night piece in the Great Board. Oh my god, yeah. Wait, what, are they in this list? Where's Mr. Elegance, Mr. Society? Am I going blind, or are they just not here? My god, not every character's here. Jesus. Where is Mr. Elegance? Mr. Elegance is not here. What an awful tier list I've made. We will get to Shadow Guy, do not worry. Okay. I think Rudin goes, it all depends. You. Is the Roaring Knight and its conspiracy? Again, I will get to characters later because I have funny things to say. Pizza Guy, not Pizza Guy, Cake Man. Cake Man makes a cake for us and gives us infinite cakes. He fuels us with stuff, so active working against. Hathy! There. Pondman. Okay, so Pondman goes here, as does Mr. Society. Mr. Elegance goes here, because they are the knight piece in chess. I would put them there. I do not have anyone to represent them. Jigsaw goes here. The tutorial guys, they go here. Oh my god, hold on. I'm gonna talk about you with chapter 3. Rudin has heart symbolism and Carol collects heart pillows. You mean Hathy? Rabbik. Yeah, you mean Hathy, okay. Mr. Society is the bishop. Mr. Elegance is the horse. Okay. Rabbik. Probably there? Hasn't Elegance screwed off to the cliff? Isn't Elegance the horse and then Society is the bishop? Shakira, what's Shakira have to do with anything? Oh, okay. It's your autocorrect texting up again. Alright, I got it. Society is the bishop, yeah, that's what I thought. Society screwed off to the hills, and like, they've probably seen the Titans now at this point, but like, you know. Yeah. Bloxer is another questionable one. I think you just go there. Society is the night. Malleus is against... Yeah, no, because Malleus fuses stuff for us, so, and heals us, and... Yeah. Rudy, you have a sword. That's enough. Also, yeah, the Hathy explanation, you've pulled me with it. Head Hathy, yeah. You've pulled me with it. You are here. Society is the night. Because you guard the prison. Clover. Here's the thing. With Clover, I mean, I don't know where to put him. Honestly. Where doth Clover go? That is the question. Oh, we have a bunch of fun stuff coming up, don't we? Clover is in on the conspiracy. Elaborate. Chapter 1 is their birthday. Oh my god. Malleus in on the friend something by proxy of having the Thornring recipe, but not the night conspiracy. Yeah, that's fair. I think there's a little addition we need to make to Malleus, like working with us, but also I guess working with friend. Clover has a room in Card Castle. Yeah. You know what? That's enough for me. Oh god. So Shom is either one end of the extreme or the other end of the extreme. Because Shom is either is in one of these two tiers. They are either here or they are here. Shom had the mantle, which is a reason. Yeah, so they're either in on the conspiracy or actively working against. Sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. They wanted to give us the mantle, but again, like, there are theories that Shorm is, like, gonna betray us as well, so I'm gonna put you there for now. And you... I don't think anyone's gonna question me doing this. RK, Roaring Knight, rules card, it's enough of an explanation as is. Lancer, you can go here. Lancer, just obvious. No questions asked. I actually can't do the rules voice right now. I totally would, but like my throat is actually killing me right now. In fact, I'm gonna pause and get another drink because I actually think my throat's gonna die if I keep going. So I'll see you guys in like a couple minutes. Now we're back. Okay. Just gonna read through chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So about Shorm, rules. Joe Kingston again. I mean, I think Lancer in here is fine, as I was saying. Oh, God. King is not here. Is possibly, like... I mean, King has never met the Knight, right? You have to at least be here. Possibly here. I don't want to put you definitely here, because I don't think you were that trusted. I think here is fine. But, like... Because it was Jevil who told King about stuff. He talked to the Knight. Well, I mean, Jevil actually... Like, no, he says that Jevil is the one who told him about the Knight. I think he is fine. Jevil, yeah, no. 100%. Absolutely there. I'm gonna have to get some sore throat sweets after this. Alright, we're finally getting somewhere. Jevil might not interact with the Knight. I think Jevil just being in yeah. I think Jevil being here is fine. Because again, Jevil is the one who told King and basically set Chapter 1's Dark World events into motion. Right. You. I think here is fine for these two because they're the same character, right? Just one's plugged and one's not. Why are you... Hold on. Why are you guys, like, all the way over here instead of just, like, actually in sensible places? You know what? We're doing Star Walker next, because we shouldn't Star Walker earlier. Have I heard about the doc collecting answers and responses for another chance? No. I has not. Why the nurse monster up there? We explained earlier, so the nurse has to be in on it if Rudy is a Knight contender. Star Walker is the Knight. Yeah, because Star Walker is part of the stars, and therefore walks with the Knight, so they're in on the conspiracy, 100%. Star Walker is the Titan. Yeah. These three go in here because they were against Queen, and we'll get to Queen later, but Queen will be in the higher tiers. I need a drink. Task. The hacker goes here. Dehydration route. Nubert, because Nubert gives you stuff, goes here. Trashy helps. Pop up, sure. You, sure. Mouse, sure. You. There we go. All the Chapter 2 Darkness basically covered. We got a few left. Swatchlings. Sure. They work with Swatch, and Swatch is selling you stuff, therefore actively against. There we go. Where Wire. Where Wire goes a bit higher up. They are in Queen's Mansion. They are her last line of defense. They go here. Task Manager, in Queen's Mansion. That's enough for me. Queen kind of spoke to the Knight. The Knight didn't fill them in, though, so I'm going to put them here. I was going to put... Actually, you know what? No, I put Queen there. I have to put these two here. Chapter 2 Darkness getting put down low. It makes perfect sense. I was gonna put Queen in the higher tiers, but yeah, I think Queen being down there. Spampton G. Spampton. Oh god. This is when stuff gets really interesting now. Spampton not involved. It all depends if the caller of Spampton is the Knight or Gaster. It has to be Gaster, I think. Well, I mean, these two go in the same tier. They are the same person, right? I think Spampton probably could go higher up, I think. I don't think it's impossible. I think here is fine. Now, Shadow Guy, you see, black and white, like the Roaring Knight, they're a contender. Next. okay, no. No, but seriously though, like, look at them. It's the same color palette. Pippins. The regular red Pippins, not the green Pippins. You are the green Pippins, so therefore we'll count you later. The resemblance is uncanny. Sorry, Shadow, they, them, I'm being vague. Oh, so basically what you're saying is that Des and Carol should be just moved down to here. Is that what you're saying? No. I mean, to be fair, Guy can be gender neutral these days, so yeah. Pippins, I think they're too stupid. Shudder, oh my god. You know what? Shudder, you can go here. Zapper, sure. I mean, you are defending... No, you're fine. Water cooler. I mean, in a sense, the water coolers are the Mizzles, and all the Chapter 4 Darkness are going to go in here. You think the water coolers are Night candidate? No. I think water cooler being here is fine. Same with Ribic. Same with Lanino and Elnina. I think they're not in on it. We have 5 rows of this. Jesus. Ram. Ram gets put here. Because if they had more time to prepare, Ram would totally have a Shadow Crystal. Tenor, yeah. I think that's fine. Alnina and Lanino are Tenor's right and people that might be in on it. Yeah, but Tenor gets betrayed, so therefore, like... I think if everyone else got betrayed, I think then... And, like, everyone else had been slashed like Tenor was... Then, yeah. Eram? I'm gonna put Eram... Impossible Night contender. Because if you listen to Black Knife and Burning Eyes sounds like an 8-bit version of Black Knife. And it even used the logic from, like, Live Alive, or Live Alive, how you ever pronounce it, where the music in the remake actually gets more. Like, there's more to it. Would Ram have a crystal? Because Ram fits freedom themes. So, yeah. Are you sure it's not because of my hatred of Eram? No, I'm being genuinely serious with this. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I do dislike the Iran boss fight. As a character, I love them. I actually think they're really interesting. Actually, Iram isn't negative because Iram isn't a fraud. We're leaving it as is. We're leaving it as is. The Roaring Knight is actively working against the Roaring Knight because why would the Roaring Knight work with the Knight? You know. Okay, no. Let's actually be for real. You know what? You know what? Screw it. The Knight makes the Dark Worlds. Create a tier. I am not changing that. That is... Yeah, no. They are in creator tier. They create the Dark Worlds. They make everything. Creator tier. 100%. Alright. Now all the Chapter 4 Darkness. Yeah, you just go in here because you all work against... Wait, hang on. Starwalker's in that crowd too. So Starwalker has to go down here. Old Man Gerson fights a Titan. Next. By that logic, Chris and Susie belong in creator. Yeah, but also memes. The statue has like no association with anything. So like, there we go. Jack also helps us. The Titan spawn and the Titan. The Titan made itself. I mean, in a sense, like, I can think of an argument for all of these, right? Creates Titan spawns, is the embodiment of darkness, created by the night, or has no brain. I think the lack of consciousness means they have to go here. Same with the spawn. We have 6 left, and they are all fun ones to cover. Mr. Streamer Jackenstein gets sacrificed if you violence everything. Yeah, but I don't do that because I'm a decent human being. Why a tree, though? The tree means everything. But I do that. Then that says more about you than just about me. The 3 mics. All 3 mics belong in the same tier, right? It's just, are they actively working against, or are they just oblivious? I think they're oblivious. You, the Zapper, and Pluie, yeah, you're oblivious. The Vessel, oh god. Sorry about that. Pluie's a shadow guy, though? Yeah, but Pluie's innocent. The Vessel is made by the creator. Also, they have no consciousness. I'm not slandering Pluie, I'm just saying they don't know. He's behind the tree, obviously in on the conspiracy, because associates him with Chris. You know what? Yeah. Okay. So, we're going over the whole tier, and a lot of this is serious, a lot of this is memes. I think basically everything, like, past a certain point was just memes. But honestly, like, this video was already an insane idea to begin with. So, create a tier. We have Gaster, Toby, The Roaring Knight. Knight contenders, we have Des, Rudy, Carol, Papyrus, Rules Card, Shadow Guy, and Eram. I did say, although, I was going to actually change this around. Alright, so the last little bit we're going to do, we're going to discuss where each of these characters go within the tier. I think these two obviously go, like, at the end. Remove Rules, Shadow Guy, and Eram. They stay for the memes. They stay for the memes. I think with death being the most popular theory, as much as I hate it, it probably is the most likely. You only realize how close Shadow Guy looks to the Roaring Knight. Yeah, they do look very close. It's the question of I think the I think the question is who's more likely between Rudy and Papyrus. I think we'll find with this. I think this ordering within this tier is fine. This is the only tier where the ordering matters. The rest are just like wherever, just anywhere, because that's what fits. But these 7 are in this order. Oh my god, there's 7 of them. There's 7 of them. There are as many Knight contenders as souls in Undertale. It all adds up. But yeah. We have all these guys on the conspiracy. So Chris, Asgore, Alvin, the nurse, Book Guy, Jevil, the man behind the tree, and friend. Likely on it, we have Toriel, Azriel, Purple Guy, Clam Guy, Terry, Getting Stronger Man, the 2 people in City Hall, Dark World, Toriel, and King. Possible but unlikely, all these characters. I'm not going to list them all off, but, like, you know. Memes. A massive list of characters who are oblivious. Or just unknowing. Actively working against this long list here. And then Undead and Tenor get betrayed or sacrificed. Yeah. I think that's it. You're proud of yourself with the healthy reasoning? Yeah. Okay, I think that's going to be end of stream now. It's been very fun. I'll edit this down to a video at some point. And yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow maybe. I don't know how... If I'm feeling better tomorrow, I'll stream. If I'm not feeling better, then I'll see you guys probably Saturday. Yeah, if I don't see you guys, have a great Christmas. Whether you celebrate or not, have a great time. And I will see you later. Bye for now.